Hello, welcome to Stampin' by Hannah. Today I have another technique video for you for embossed die cuts, and I don't know how well you can see this actually. I say that a lot, don't I? But anyway, the happy sentiment is a die cut, but it's also shiny. But I don't know how well it's coming across on film. I'm really hoping that I can get this in pictures for you. But I'm going to show you exactly how I made this card. So, this one is in Tempting Turquoise with Pear Pizzazz leaves. The one I'm going to do today is going to send the white balance of the camera insane, because I'm going to do Blackberry Bliss. So, for this card, I've got my Blackberry Bliss card base and matching piece of Whisper White for my card. I've got a scrap piece of Blackberry Bliss. There we go, white balance all over the place, for my die cut and this little line. I've got some Mossy Meadow ink and my Versamark. And I've got my stamp set. Today I'm using Crazy About You. I have this in clear mount, but it's also available in wood and photopolymer. And the photopolymer actually comes in one box, which is really cool. I love this stamp set so much. You've got all these lovely words and sentiments and 3 fantastic images, and it coordinates perfectly with the Hello You Thinlits dies, which there are 4 dies in the set. There's Thanks, You, Hello and Happy, which we're going to use today. So let's do our bit of die cutting first. So I'd apologise for the white balance of the camera. It's going to go crazy. To get the shiny effect on the die cut sentiment, I'm going to use my Versamark pad, and I'm going to put my Versamark straight down onto my cardstock. And I'm going to heat emboss it with clear embossing powder. You've seen this little box of tricks before. This is my Stampin' Up! Clear emboss powder. And I'm just going to sprinkle it all over. I got these little boxes on Amazon along with the little spoons, but I've got to admit I got the idea from Jennifer Maguire Ink. She actually attaches her spoons to the top of her box. But I couldn't get spoons. In the UK I could not get spoons for the life of me that would fit. And I didn't want to spend huge amounts of money on the boxes. So these boxes come 3 in a pack. And they're really good value for money. So now I've got a load of embossing powder on there. I'm going to hit this with my heat gun and melt it. So now you can see that's gone all lovely and shiny. I'm going to leave that for a couple of seconds just to dry and go cool, because it's currently a little bit sticky, particularly in the middle. So I've got my Happy die, and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot. I've got my magnetic platform. I love this. Absolutely the best tool I've ever bought, other than my Big Shot itself. I've then got my slightly battered and bruised clear plate, and I'm going to put my cardstock on top of that. I'm going to pop my die on there. Nice and lined up. onto that clear embossed section, and my other plate on the top of that, and I'm going to run that sandwich through my Big Shot, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, so I've run that through my Big Shot, and as you can see, it's just going to nicely pop out of the cardstock. And I've then still got my happy inside the die. I'm going to use my Stampin' Up, I call it my pokey tool, but I think it's got a proper name, as paper piercing tool, to just pop out all the sections, little die cut pieces. Normally this die pops out beautifully. With the embossing powder on the cardstock, it does take a little bit more welly to and a bit more effort to get the die cut to pop out. If you pop your paper piercing tool through the little holes, and there's plenty of little holes provided by the die, you can then just free that die cut, and it will very, very easily just pop out. Right, and then you can see it is shiny. Can you see that shiny? There we go. Lovely shine on there. And we can finish the rest of our card. So I shall bring in my piece of Whisper White, and I've got the leaf stamp already mounted up on my block, and I've got my Mossy Meadow ink, and I'm going to stamp it off once, just so it's not quite so harsh. There we go, I think that will do this time. And I need, you know what I forgot to get? I've forgotten to get out my Blackberry Bliss ink. Hold on a second. Knew there was something I'd forgotten today. For that birthday in the bottom corner. So, straight down and straight up. Slightly wonky, but that's because I was slightly wonky holding it. And then to get this little line of cardstock, so I take my scrap piece and my Stampin' trimmer, and if you lift up this Stampin' trimmer, you can see there's a kind of, where the grey line ends is where I'm going to line my cardstock up to. So there. So I've got a really skinny piece of cardstock, and I'm going to stick that on with Tombow. Not a usual kind of glue for me, but always worth a go. Just a little bit of glue along the length, and then to get it straight, I line it up with my grid paper, line my piece of Whisper White up my grid paper, and then line my piece of cardstock up with my grid paper. Ever so slightly wonky, like the rest of the card, a bit like me. And then I'm just going to use my paper snips to snip off the ends And then I've still got my die cut to stick on. I'm going to use my transfer adhesive sheets, peel the paper back, rub it over. I love these transfer adhesive sheets, they're so sticky. I have a whole video previously using my transfer adhesive sheets. If you need a full instruction, I shall link the video in the down bar below. If I haven't, please remind me. And there is our card. I'm just going to put a bit of snail just to stick that on. Oh. And there we have our embossed die cut technique. Thanks for watching. Go and check out the link to my blog below, or the links to all the products you will find there, and I shall see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.